the PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other dissemination, or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the PCSRA Weekly Show's 2020 season. We're glad that you're with us to celebrate 10 years of the PCSRA, and we hope to see you every Monday and Tuesday here in the PCSRA Blue Hedgehog Studios in War Acres, Oklahoma. Today's PCSRA Weekly Show broadcast is brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecues, Harkins Theaters, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, in its 10th season with the call at today's PCSRA Weekly Show from the Blue Hedgehog Studios in War Acres, Oklahoma, here he is, the adorable Blue Hedgehog, the voice of the PCSRA. Here he is, Daniel Boyles. And hello, and good afternoon, and welcome here to the PCSRA Weekly Shows. The PCSRA Weekly Show is on the air here on the PCSRA Radio Network, the Blue Hedgehog TV, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Daniel Villas here in our PCSRA studios. Welcome to another PCSRA Weekly Show, as far as that's concerned. So yeah, it's privileged to be here and all that, so yeah. So should be fun. Alright, before we get onto the show, got a few announcements to make. Number one is that with the fact that as what in the hell, why is the weekly show not popping up? Hang on a second, boys.
There we go. I was wondering why the weekly show deal wasn't popping up on my YouTube. YouTube's got to fix this shit, I swear to God. I don't know what is it with them, but they got to fix it. So, yeah. And another holiday for somebody on YouTube. Okay. I haven't already. Has he sent me global? He is not. Okay. So, while I'm waiting for somebody to come join me and hang out with me and all that good stuff, I'm Matter to tell Taylor I am live, fully clothed. Let me let him know. So I can have at least a panelist to keep me company. Okay, so while we are at it, let's go ahead and recap the races as I need to get out of YouTube Studios. Okay. Yes, starting with the IndyCar race weekend, we had our first race of two. Rare, we have it on a Friday. It was really calm, clean, collective, in any way, shape, or form. Really was a good race and all that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. And it brought some good racing as far as that is concerned and all that. And when the checker flag waved, Joseph Newgarden, the defending series champion, needed a win to keep his championship hopes alive, did so, and won his first ever race at the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. So congrats to him. So the top 10 results for the first race of IndyCar. Joseph Newgarden, the winner. Alexander Rossi, second. Rinus VeeKay on the podium in third. Colton Herta, fourth. Felix Rosenqvist, fifth. Will Power, sixth. Graham Rahal, seventh. Jack Harvey, eighth. Scott Dixon, ninth. Marcus Ericsson completed the top 10. Going to race number 2. Let me let everybody else. Alright. Taylor's like, yay, at least I got a panelist that'll keep me company as far as that's concerned. Anyway, back to the business in hand. It was the second verse, same as the first, really calm and collective and all that. But at the end of the day, Will Power won, got the win at the Indianapolis road course. So that's good for him so far. So the top 10 results for race 2, Will Power the winner. Colton Herta second, Alexander Rossi third, Joseph Newgarden fourth, Patricio Award of Mexico 5th, Jack Harvey 6th, Graham Rahal 7th, Scott Dixon 8th, Alex Palou 9th, and Simon Pagenaud completed the top 10. Did I forget something on the agenda? I think I might have. Let me check. I did not. Okay, I just want to make sure. I'll get to the big key point before we go over the top story news after we rate the weekend. As far as that is concerned. So, that is IndyCar all done and dusted. Then we go to the Truck Series race for our first elimination race of the season. As I cannot even see, I need to get a yellow towel. Let me go get a yellow towel right now while we're getting ready to recap the truck race, the first elimination race. And because my glasses need to be clean badly. Instead of yanking out the dang deal. Alright, let me clean my glasses in a minute. Yeah, just know I just woke up, so I'm just a little groggy, so just forewarn. That's more like it. Let me see. Oh, Taylor's here. Let's go ahead and introduce our other panelist. Joining me is Mr. Zachary Taylor. How are you, Mr. Taylor? Okay, that was so creepy, but I got no comment on that. Anyway, back to the business in hand. Where was I? Oh, yes. Oh! I needed to post the video, or the weekly show to other servers, so give me a second while I'm doing that. While I'm doing that, let's talk about the truck race, since we're now at Talladega for the first elimination race of the season. It was kind of the typical Talladega we kinda expected, right, Taylor? Yeah, that's what we kinda felt like. First incident, going into turn number 3, Sheldon Creed got turned but saved it. Behind him, the first big wreck took place, and it involved the 02 of Tate Fogelman, the 24 Chase Purdy, playoff contender Zane Smith, Danny Bone, Dawson Cram, Corbin Forster, Joe Nemechek, and Spencer Boyd. Also, Stuart Friesen and the 68 of Clay Greenfield got involved. Austin Wayne Self also got a piece of that, same with Johnny Sauter. So that was the big wreck. That brought out the red flag. They finished stage 1 under yellow. Hi, Mr. Sean Art. How are you, my friend? Stage 1 was won by Austin Hill, which he had nothing to lose. He was already in the next round anyway, so he would have afforded a bad race if he had to. Then the 15 of the, if I can find him, do not help me, I know where he is. Tanner Gray, that's who it is. He sideswiped the 56 of Gustine, making his first start of the season. Off turn number 4, Gustine spins, hits the inside wall. Thankfully, was protected by a safer barrier, but another hard hit. His day was done. He continued on. Then the 15 got Karmic Retribution, Tanner Gray, that is, as he spun on the back straightaway, as far as that's concerned. I forgot to mention, Stage 2 was won by Derek Krause, so there you go, because they didn't put in the results. So, J-Ski, I'm going to have to smack you, unfortunately. Then we had a debris caution, which everybody wrecked coming to the checker flag. And at the end of the day, Rafael Lazard picked up his first career Truck Series win at Talladega Superspeedway. The top 10 results for the Truck Series race: Rafael Lazard, the winner. Trevor Baines, so close to a win, but he'll have to sell for second. Chandler Smith, third. Ben Rose, a playoff contender, fourth. Cody Robar, 5th. Jordan Anderson, 6th. Brett Moffitt, 7th. Matt Crafton, 8th. Kaz Gralla, which I need to mention, Kaz Gralla substituted for the injured Natalie Decker, which is why Kaz Gralla had to start at the rear of the field because of a driver change. He comes back to get 9th, and Derek Krause finished in the top 10. The 2 drivers that have been eliminated from the Truck Series playoffs, if I can find it, do not help me, I can look for it. Sorry, I'm looking to see who got eliminated. Taylor, not a roast. The 2 drivers that have been eliminated was Christian Eckes and Todd Gillen. That's the 2 that have been eliminated. First of all, let me get out of that. You don't belong there, my friend. Anyway. Sorry, I had to clear something on J-Ski and all that. All the checker flags that were received this past weekend, yep. Then we go to the Xfinity Series race, which they ran a few hours after the truck race was concluded. Nothing happened in Stage 1, shockingly. That was won by Chase Briscoe. What was that? Do not tell me you were trying to do something that has something to do with starfish and foxy flappers. Yeah. First actual incident, this was coming on the pit road, and we always talk about Talladega could be tricky coming off pit road. Everybody was checking up. Riley Herbst got ran in the back. Actually, the 40, well, we'll get to that in a minute. The 18 of Riley Herbst got ran in the back by somebody, along with Austin Hill. Both of them hit the inside wall. The 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt got collected, but he continued on. We'll tell you what happened to Jeffrey Earnhardt later in the race. Then Ross Chastain got into an incident with the 15 of Colby Howard and the 20 of Harrison Burton. Actually, Riley Herbst spun, hit the wall on the front straightaway, and then the 10, 15, 20 got together and all that. So, yeah. So, interesting. So, had to throw a red flag. They did finish stage 2. That was also won by Chase Briscoe, shockingly. I got the 61 confused with the another incident. But Austin Hill got in an incident with Austin Cindric, which way we're coming to pit road, Jeffrey Earnhardt got involved. Brought out the yellow. 22 and 61 done for the day. We had debris on the front straightaway, and then we had a 5-car wreck with Myatt Snyder, Harrison Burton, AJ Allmendinger, Jesse Little, who had a malicious sledgehammer hitting the wall, and the 02 of Brett Moffitt. That brought out the yellow. The race ended under the yellow, and Justin Haley, the luckiest guy on earth, picks up the win, and more importantly, punches his ticket into the next round of the playoffs. Me neither on that. So the top 10 results for the Xfinity Series race: Justin Haley, the winner; Ryan Sieg, second; Noah Gragson, third; Brandon Jones, fourth; Daniel Humbrick, fifth; Ross Chastain, sixth; Josh Williams, seventh; Garrett Smithley, eighth; Brandon Brown, ninth; Alex LeBay completed the top 10. I forgot to go over the rest of the playoff finishers for trucks. I'll do that now. Sheldon Creed, 12th; Grant Enfinger, 13th; Christian Eckes, who got eliminated, 18th; Austin Hill, 19th; Todd Gillen, 28th, had a miserable day, and Zane Smith went out of the race in trucks. And for Xfinity, Chase Briscoe, 19th, which didn't matter. He was already in the next round anyway, so he would afford a bad day. Justin Allgaier, 29th; Harrison Burton, 23rd. And then Austin Cindric, Riley Herbst, and Michael Annett were the drivers out of the race as far as the playoff contenders are concerned. Then we go to the Cup Series race for the Yellowwood 500, which is a weird name if you ask me. Not even we got into turn 3. Christopher Bell cut a left rear tire. I missed 2 wrecks as far as the Dega race is concerned. Christopher Bell, getting back onto the first wreck. Christopher Bell cut a left rear tire. He spins down, collects the 8 of Tyler Reddick. The 1343 got involved. And J-Ski, by the way, derp, because that is not how you spell incident. Okay, here's how they spell incident. They spelled it INCIDIDEENT instead of INCIDENT. They added 2 I's and 2 D's. Like, bruh, come on now. That is not how you spell incident. Oh, man. But anyway, second incident, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got turned by the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek. He spins going through the tri-oval, not off turn 4, going through the tri-oval. He backs in the wall. His race was already done, so I guess Hungry Jack became Flap Jack, if you ask me, from a cartoon show. Then Corey LaJoie had a mechanical failure on the restart. He came to a stop, brought out the yellow. Then we had a competition yellow. After that, God, we had a lot of wrecks in this race versus Trucks and Xfinity combined. Contact between Alex Bowman and Eric Almirola, which Almirola nearly flipped, which I got a prediction wrong. Collected the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Busch, who nearly flipped. Miserable day, I have to say. Kyle Busch's damage cut a left front tire down, brought out some debris, which brought out a caution for debris off the 18. Kyle Busch had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day at Talladega, just like Ken Alexander in the Xfinity Series in 2002. Which, there is a video of that if you didn't know that, if you know what I mean, so, yeah. Stage 1... Let me check. Did that conclude Stage 1? It did not. Stage 1, by the way, was won by Chris Buescher, by the way. Which, that big wreck ended the stage. Okay, I was right. Okay. Thank you, Sean, for the help. Of course, debris caution. Ryan Blaney got into an incident turn number 3. And then we had the dreaded big one. We had a lot of big wrecks in this. I couldn't find which one would be the big one. Yeah, by the way, warning, if you hear me say a pun about a driver or anything like that, I'm sorry. Just disclaimer. Taylor knows what I'm talking about, okay? Clint Bowyer turned Jimmy Johnson in the trial into Kurt Busch. Busch goes in the wall. He goes flying like Team Rocket, blasting off in the air. Which he had cars... Wait. Yeah. Was landing on top of Cole Custer. A little bit of car sex, if you ask me. Collected Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, the 15 of Brendan Poole. Kyle Busch in it again, got clobbered by the 62 of Brendan Gaughan, Daniel Suarez, the 41 of Cole Custer, and the 37 of Ryan Preece was all involved. Yeah, that brought out a red flag. They did get back to green, finish stage 2. That was won by Martin Truex Jr. Yes. I saw that recounting, but yeah. Anyway. Had debris off the track had debris had debris on the track, which by the way came from I think came from the 51, actually 53 spun. We had James Davidson, who joined. Oh, it's David. Hi, David. But getting back to the recapping. On the first green white checker, Kevin Harvick got turned, collected Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch again. Kyle Busch has been involved in multiple wrecks, and they finally ended his day. Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano were involved. Logano got penalized twice for forcing somebody below the yellow line. Hi, Elijah. And then Joey Logano's like, screw you, NASCAR officials, I'm going home. That's what he royally said to the NASCAR officials. He's like, screw you. So, then the final caution, anyway, Bubba Wallace got turned, got turned into the wall, got Preece, Eric Jones, Martin Truex Jr., Blaney, Keselowski, Dillon, Harvick, and Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth was doing super well as far as that's concerned. I forgot to mention on the Xfinity Series results, Michael Annett finished up second but was disqualified because of rear heights. I forgot to mention that to you guys, so there we go. Back to the Cup race. Then we had some questionable calls, which, by the way, at the end of the race, Denny Hamlin won, but it was without controversy. The rule in the NASCAR book says you cannot go below the double yellow line to advance your position. If you force somebody below the yellow line, you would get black flagged. That's exactly what happened to the following. They originally penalized Chase Elliott for going below the yellow line when he was actually forced, so Chase Elliott's team filed a protest and won, which Chris Buescher was the guilty party, and he had to settle for 22nd. Denny Hamlin went below the yellow line to avoid an incident with his teammate. and ended up winning the race. So we'll talk about the yellow line situation in a minute. So the top 10 results, Denny Hamlin to win, which puts him in the round of 8. Eric Jones second, Ty Dillon third, William Byron fourth, playoff contender Chase Elliott fifth, since he won the appeal, which is good news for him. Brian Newman sixth, Tyler Reddick seventh, John Hunter Nemechek eighth. Brendan Poole, but despite getting involved in that first big one with Kurt Busch, came home in ninth, and Ryan Preece, despite being involved in multiple wrecks, came home in the 10th position. Justin Haley nearly got a top 10, but he ended up 11th, but still a nice run for the 77. Their best finish of the season, I'd like to point out. Where did the rest of your playoff finishers? Austin Dillon 12th, Alex Bowman 14th, Brad Keselowski 18th, Kevin Harvick 20th. 23rd was Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano 26th, Kyle Busch 27th, Kurt Busch 32nd, which didn't matter for Kurt Busch. He was already in the next round, so he definitely could afford a bad result. Clint Boyer and Eric Almirola, on the other hand, could not afford a bad result at Dega and possibly find themselves in a must-win situation going into this weekend's elimination race at the Charlotte Roval. Alright, so now I turn over to Taylor. First of all, Taylor, what were you for IndyCar? Yeah, IndyCar racing was good. Alright, now, what were you guys' thoughts on Talladega? COVID-19. Mm-hmm. Alright. Taylor, what was your thoughts? Oh yeah, definitely. If you guys didn't hear my rating for Dega, Indianapolis, by the way, I'm giving it a 9. I was going to give it a 9 for Talladega, but because of what happened with Trucks and Xfinity, ending the race under yellow instead of racing back because the wreck happened behind them, and the Cup race with the controversy of the yellow line, I had to give it an 8. But, yeah, really interesting, so. What would you guys give Dega? David, what would you give Dega? Alright.
We were looking for.
Yeah, I would agree with Sean. All right. Let's get right into the top story news. Let's discuss something that I don't know if any of you guys heard about this one, but when Hendrick Motorsports drivers went to the Daytona Road Course, there was one person that helped them get used to the Daytona Road Course. You want to know who that one was? Nope. Try Jordan Taylor from Corvette Racing in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, who coached Hendrick Motorsports drivers for the Daytona Road Courses. 2-word phrase, David. And thanks for saying it on my stream. So the question is, would you like to see Jordan Taylor in a Cup car in the near future? Yes, you heard it right, Sean Art. Jordan Taylor is the one who helped Hendrick with the road course at Daytona. The great Jordan Taylor, who's about to win a championship over in IMSA. Taylor, what about you? I think that was big for Hendrick to, and that's how Chase Elliott won, is because of Jordan Taylor, you know what I mean? I would love to see Jordan Taylor in that. IMSA fans, let me know what you guys think. Yes. Which, by the way, you get to see Jordan Taylor when they go racing on the road course so far. Yeah, something you did not even hear. So, next topic. Let's discuss the schedule. We already talked about the NASCAR schedule. How about 2021? Well, the IndyCar schedule just got released on the 1st. So this is their 2021 calendar. So March 7th, the season opener will be at the streets of St. Petersburg. Barber Motorsports Park is back on the calendar along with Long Beach. That'll be a back-to-back week. Barber will be on NBCSN, Long Beach NBC. But then this is where the schedule gets interesting. They get a doubleheader at Texas Motor Speedway. Yes, you heard me right. If you don't believe me, look at the IndyCar chat where I have the schedule. Then the 15th of May, they're going to run the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. First of 2 race dates at Indy. Yes, you heard me right. First of 2. The May holiday, which we all know, is the Indy 500. Now, thank you, Taylor, because I said the May holiday, so I can refrain myself from getting on the board. But anyway, Indy 500 will be on May 30th on that May holiday that I'm not going to say. Now, other holiday, David. Now, of course, an era of the traditional weekend for that will come to an end next year, and which most of you already know why. Belle Isle Park is back on the 12th and 13th of June on NBC. Road America will be on NBCSN. Then on the 4th of, or actually on July 4th, on that holiday that I'm not supposed to say, other holiday, David, we'll be going to Mid-Ohio. They'll be on NBC. Toronto is back. They'll be on NBCSN, which, by the way, Hannah Blue Jay is going to get tickets for that race weekend. Nashville Street Circuit will be on NBCSN on August the 8th. August 14th, back to Indianapolis Road Course. Then we go to Gateway for the final oval race. That'll be on NBCSN. And then September 12th and 19th at Portland and WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, respectively, both on NBC. So out of 17 races, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 races that will be on NBC next year for IndyCar. What are you guys' thoughts on the schedule, especially the Texas doubleheader? I think they said for IMSA, if they did run Laguna Seca, it would be without fans, is what I was told. Yeah, staying on the IndyCar subject, IndyCar has reached a new multi-year extension with engine partners Honda, which we'll talk about that in just a second with the F1 news, and Chevrolet taking their partnership well into the end of the decade. Wait, what'd you say, Taylor? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Honda, since I mentioned they're saying in IndyCar, they have announced that they are leaving F1 at the end of next year. So they will be leaving both Red Bull and AlphaTauri. So that's interesting if you ask me. Australian Grand Prix will open the 2021 season. MotoGP returns in October. Of course, we were supposed to have the Australian Grand Prix this year, but COVID-19 had other ideas. The thing is that any COVID-19 measurements are satisfied, if you know what I mean, so we'll have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. Over here, it's opposite day. Oh, are you referring to IndyCar schedule? I mean, that's interesting. So, speaking of F1, we're supposed to have the F1 schedule coming out, and we're supposed to hear what's going to happen to F1, especially with Vietnam. Staying on the F1 deal, the Turkish Grand Prix, which is back for the first time in quite some time, announced it will be run without fans. You know what I mean? They had hoped to attract 100,000 fans to the Istanbul Park venue, which capacity is 220. A statement issued overnight was this. Within the scopes of effort to combat the COVID-19 epidemic and according with the recommended of the Istanbul Private Pandemic Committee, the F1 Turkish Grand Prix will be held without spectators. The Russian Grand Prix was the first event on this year's calendar to witness any significant spectator attendance. Prior to that, limited numbers were allowed at the Tuscan Grand Prix in Mugello, as Ferrari celebrated its 100th World Championship GP, with the opening 8 races of the year running spectator-free. The Turkish Grand Prix is scheduled to run November 13th through the 15th, so that's a big change, if you know what I mean. Let me see. Oh, supercars. I get some news. Let me see. There's going to be a new safety car rule that will be in place for next weekend's Bathurst 1000, the greatest motorsports race in all of the world. Lap cars will have the ability to pass the safety car in a new rule introduced for the Super Chief Auto Bathurst 1000. Typically, cars are maintained their track position during the safety car invention, regardless of what lap they are on. That will change for the highly anticipated 2020 edition, create a twofold win. Leading contenders won't be interrupted by back markers on the restarts, and cars that fall behind early will have the chance to claw their way back into the hunt. The new rule is in preparation for the safety car. The safety car will set the speed as instructed by race control on the race management channel, then extinguish all the flashing lights as instructed by the race director. Cars one or more laps down behind leader, as per rule, will be instructed via race control and via timing to pass the line of cars, including the safety car when between turns 18 and 19. Lap cars have not crossed the Sector 3 timing line prior to the safety car. Crossing the Sector 2 timing line will not be eligible to pass safety car. After passing the safety car, pit lane will be closed to the lap cars until they cross the control line on the racetrack. If the race director considers lap track conditions are unsuitable, lap cars will not be permitted to pass safety car. Decisions made in respect of this unlapping procedure are not subject to protest. We'll see how that's going to go down, if you ask me. Paul Morris is waiting on future Gen 3 details to be released for supercars. That'll be interesting. Okay. Let me go back to the agenda. I got nothing for NR News and PCSRA reports, so why don't we, now, I'm going to throw a little disclaimer, and this is going to be announced to all of you. Normally, we would be previewing the Charlotte Roval for the second elimination race for Cup, first elimination race for Xfinity. But because we already did that on the IMSA podcast and we all know what to expect, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're only going to preview Germany and Zolder. So, Taylor, what do you think we're going to see at Nürburgring and also at Zolder this weekend? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's going to be exciting to see what happens so far. Anything you want to say about the Charlotte Roval thoughts, David? I don't think you were with us for when Taylor, Orman, and I previewed the Charlotte Roval, so I'll give you a chance. What do you think we're going to see at the Charlotte Roval? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. IMSA boys and girls, you mean, because there is some female drivers in that series. Now remember, it's only the GT cars that are there, which means we have 38 in Xfinity, 38 in Cup, and like 20 GT cars, so. Now I did mention this on Twitter, and this is something you guys need to hear. The only practice in qualifying for the Charlotte Roval is only going to be for the IMSA drivers. The GT, Le Mans GT D cars, because they need the practice in qualifying to get used to this new Roval, because they've never raced at Charlotte before. They were supposed to have gone to Lime Rock, but COVID-19 said otherwise, so. And plus, for the GT classes, this is a back-to-back weekend race for the Petit Le Mans next weekend, which the prototype drivers will be back next week. So, yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into predictions. Predictions brought to you by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way. Now I'm seeing my opinion. Yeah, I appreciate your opinion. Everybody has different opinions, but we all appreciate opinions, so. Alright, for those of you that do not know how our predictions go, it's driver to win, driver stay away from, driver that is the dark horse. The points are the same as always. We are in the second round for Cup. It's 6 points. It's 3 points for Xfinity, 6 points for Cup. Unless you pick a non-playoff driver, it's 1 point for non-playoff drivers. The elimination picks are 12. Actually, I need to write that down, by the way. Yep, there it is. Elimination picks are 12 points, so it really is going to upset a lot of things. The other two, 1 point per category. And, yeah, so let's go right into the weekly show point standings, starting with the global. I appreciate Mr. Ormy posting this. So, coming out of, yep, end of the second round for Cup and Xfinity, it's weird that it's an elimination weekend. Normally, the only time Xfinity would be having the same thing, having an elimination weekend would be the penultimate race, but this is the first time we have an elimination weekend of 2 with Xfinity and Cup together. Of course, we'll have one at Martinsville to predict who will make it in the Final 4. So, coming into the German GP, even though it says Eiffel, and Zolder, Cody Smart has the lead, but his gap is slowly shrinking because I've been nipping at his heels on the points. So it was like 49 or so going into Indy. It's 46. So Cody Smart 988. I have 942. Nathan Orman's third at 867. Taylor's at 860. Cody Goforth 838. Brendan Rogers at 835, and no other changes in the list as far as that is concerned. As for the NASCAR standings for our weekly show playoffs, Cody Smart still has the points lead. Doesn't matter. He's in the next round. Nathan Orman won the Talladega weekend. He locked himself a spot into the round of 6. He's second at 2,095. Smart 2,114. Now, the battle is going to get really interesting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Taylor's at 2,077, Langland 2,076. They're 3rd and 4th. Goforth is 5th at 2,074. I hold the transfer spot at 2,070. Brendan Rogers and Andrew Ramsey are the only 2 in the danger zone and find themselves in a must-win situation. Ramsey at 2,044, Rogers at 2,041. Great Lakes is at 1,101. David Heller is at 1,099. They round off the top 10. Q-Man 433. Greg Rutz 332. Jonathan Hibbert 286. So kind of the bottom 3 have been the same. So yeah, that's going to be interesting how that will play out so far. But of course, next weekend's predictions might upset the overall standings. So. Alright, as my dog can't shut up for 5 seconds. Okay. Yes, that is accepted, David. So let me just read you guys what Taylor, if you don't mind, Taylor, on your predictions. So, Zachary Taylor for DTM, if you're okay with that. Okay. Taylor picked Renee Rash, driver to win. Timo Glock, driver stay away from. Mike Rockefeller, dark horse. Driver to win, he took for F1 Lewis Hamilton, driver stay away from. Charles Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas as the dark horse. For Nathan Orman, who was unable to make it to the show because I think he had to go check up on Courtney Lynn, because why not? For DTM, he took Robert Fringe as the driver to win. By the way, stealing my pick, Ormy. Driver stay away from Jamie Green, dark horse Mark Whitman. For F1, he took Valtteri Bottas, driver to win. Driver stay away from Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen as the dark horse. I did read a stat, by the way, before I made my picks for F1. Out of the 4 races Lewis Hamilton has raced at the Nürburgring, he's only won there once in his 4 trips. And he's never won the race at Nürburgring with Mercedes. So there you go. He's had 1 win, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, but he has 1 DNF to his name. It would have been 2 from that 2007 deal. So So I took, with Brendan Rudders, Robert French driver to win, Lucas Auer driver stay away from, Renee Rest, the dark horse. I took Lewis Hamilton to driver to win, Pierre Gasly driver stay away from, and Lance Stroll as the dark horse. Wait, did you pick Lance? Oh, actually, Cody stole our picks. Actually, Taylor. Not accept it. Anyway, Taylor, it's time for NASCAR picks. Just remember, as my dog can't shut up for 5 seconds. All right, Taylor, who's the driver stay away from for Xfinity? Excuse me? Excuse me, Taylor? That's going in the quotes chat. Somebody put that in the quotes chat. Okay, who's the driver to stay away from? Getting back on topic here. Wait, who said that? Hang on a second, I gotta fix my glasses. There we go. Alright. Alright. Dark horse. And your driver to win.
Alright, so for the driver to win, I'm going to say that 22 car is going to go to the victory lane again.
Oh boy, I think you did something to me. No, you're not going to be happy about me and somebody else, so anyway. Now, tell me the 4 drivers you think will not move on to the next round. Because I have the... Wait, did I put the playoff standings in here? Or did Ormy put the... Oh, here it is. I need to copy it and post it into the president's chat. Not a roast, by the way. You guys need that for importancy, okay? Alright. Tell me the 4 drivers you think is not moving on to the next round, because there's a bunch of people in the must-win situation. I like it how you say bye-bye. Yeah, definitely. I don't think Herbst is going to do well at the Charlotte Roll. I'll just say that. Number 3. I think all of us agreed that we were going to pick Brown, Herbst, and Annette to be eliminated. But that 4th one is the one that could be the difference. Who's going to be in the top 4 and who isn't for the next round? Who's the 4th one? Nice motivational belch. Oh, I think somebody's going to be triggered at you in a minute, and it's not me, so. No, because I think somebody might have stole your picks. Alright, Cup. How is Taylor triggered when he was already given Donovan his bath earlier, and Donovan's already fully clothed again? Ta Taylor's on my own stream. Congratulations. Well, you know what? Kurt Busch doesn't have anything to lose. You know, he's in the next round. He can definitely afford a bad result like he did at Talladega. He's in the next round. He doesn't have anything to lose. Okay, who's your dark horse, Taylor? Getting back on track.
So, I don't think it's any surprise who I'm about to pick for my last two picks here. TJ is my dark horse.
Oh, somebody's going to be... Taylor's about to be triggered at somebody, because when we go over the rest of the picks, you will be shocked at who other people picked. And you're driving to win. And you're driving to win.
I don't think it's going to be a shocker what I'm about to say. But, given what he did on the Daytona road course, and what he's done at the Charlotte Roval previously, I'm going to take this number 9 machine. My boy Chase Elliott is my winner.
Oh boy, I knew that was coming. J Award and the J Award. Now, Taylor, who are your 4 drivers in Cup that you think will not move on to the next round?
Okay.
This is where it gets interesting.
Okay. Two obvious ones, Clint Boyer and Eric Hillable. I mean, them two are in monster situations. So, unless
I just don't think either of them are going to do well at the Roval.
they can find a way to pull off some kind of upset win.
That's going to be trouble.
Alright. And my third driver that is going to be eliminated. I'm going to say Austin Dillon is going
Yeah, Austin Dillon, I think we can all agree that one was going to be pretty interesting. But now who's the 4th?
Okay. I am probably going to shock the living daylights. That's what I'm about to say. Okay. So here's my little strategy I'm going to do. This may backfire, I don't know, but I'm going to just do it. I am going to say Joey Logano.
Whoa! So you think Kyle Busch is going to make up that deficit, is what you're telling me?
Well, I mean, he's only 21 points back, so, I mean, you know, Logano does not get any stage points, and Kyle Busch gets a good amount of stage points. I mean, that could really shake.
Hey guys, we got some breaking news from Pockrass. Thank you, Father Ormy. Hendrick Motorsports announced Alex Bowman. Listen to this. This might shock you guys. Will drive the number 48 Allied sponsored car in 2021. Oh, hi, Ormy.
Yeah, I just found out from Pockrass that Alex Bowman is going to be in a
Wow. I don't think anybody I knew it was going to happen. Okay. I have a feeling Oh. Yeah. Okay. I think here's what's going to happen. I think all the sponsors from the 88's going to move to the 48 is what I think is going to happen. Now the question is, who will be in the 88 for 2021? That's going to be the other question. As dang it, you've already beat me to it, Fitzy. Alright, David, you're next. Alright, David, you're next for predictions, by the way. Yeah. I'll read your picks if you don't mind. Alright, David, we're ready. I'm gonna put them in the chat, Orman, so you can write them down. Wait till you see who Taylor picked for the fourth driver to be eliminated. I think you'll be shocked. Let me see. Got Cody, got Goforth, Orman. There's Taylor. Alright. Go ahead, David. We're ready. That will trigger Travis big time, bruh. Aw, you son of a China. Alright, go ahead, David. We're ready. Yeah, while you're doing that, I will put David's in the chat. Okay, David, we're ready. Oh, hey now. Oh, lordy. Austin Sit. Ah, you son of a. Hang on a second. Austin. Wait. I was trying to do something for Taylor and Global. Okay, Austin Cindric, which driver stay away from? Dang it, that was not the right one. Dang it, I should have. I didn't realize. Alright, who are the four to be eliminated, David? Because I posted them in the President's chat. Yeah, you can look at the President's chat. What happened? Oh. 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 Alright. And Annette. Justin Allgaier to be eliminated. Dang, I could end up getting that. I could end up getting a prediction wrong if that happens. All right, to Cup. Dark Horse. And now you're 4 to be eliminated. Wait. How? Oh, you said Alex Bowman. Oh. Oh, wait till you hear my picks. Second driver. He's muted his mic. Did he mute his mic? Yes. What a numpty. I like it when I say, what's a numpty? In the words of Sean Galligan. Alright, who's the second one to be eliminated? Boyer and Almirola, I don't see them winning the Roval unless something dramatic happens. Yes. Alright. So before... Well, if Ormy's... with Ormy here, he can go ahead and read his picks if he wants to. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. Alright. Cup. By the way, Ormy might get mad at me, but I don't know. We'll see. Interesting. Alright. So before I get to my predictions, let me read you some other people's predictions for those who couldn't make it to the show. For Cody Goforth, and I'm waiting for Taylor to say this. For Xfinity, he took Justin Haley as the driver to win. Shocker. Brandon Jones as the driver to stay away from, and Harrison Burton as the dark horse. His four to get eliminated are Justin Allgaier, Brandon Brown, Riley Herbst, and Michael Annett. Which, by the way, and Ormy can say it in about 3 seconds. Because that's like stealing elimination picks by Goforth. For Cup, this will please the Taylor. He took for Cup. He took Martin Truex Jr. as the driver to win, Austin Dillon as the driver to stay away from, Denny Hamlin as the dark horse. His four to get eliminated: Austin Dillon, Clint Bowyer, Eric Almirola, and Joey Logano. Alright. For Cody Smart, for Xfinity, he said Austin Cindric is the driver to win, Brandon Brown as the driver to stay away from, Chase Briscoe as the dark horse, and his four to get eliminated are Michael Annett, Brandon Brown, Riley Herbst, and Harrison Burton, which he stole Orman's elimination picks. Cody Smart. For Cub, by the way, he did steal your driver to win, Taylor. Chase Elliott's driver to win. Say it. Kyle Busch is the driver to stay away from. Martin Truex Jr. is the dark horse. That's funny. And his four to get eliminated: Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Clint Bowyer, and Eric Almirola. Did he really steal your picks? Yeah, he stole your picks. But it did involve a Busch brother. Alright. It's time for my picks. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Global I already put in the chat, so. Yeah, the one, mine's already up there. Just scroll up. Yep. Yeah, my, global picks, by the way, is... Oh, wait a second. Wait, did I not put my global picks in there? Barnes and Noble, hang on a second. Hang on a second. There's my picks. I forgot to put them in there. Barnes and Noble. Alright, so it's time for my predictions for NASCAR. So, since I've already given you guys... Yes. Yes. Blame the keyboard, okay? Blame the keyboard on that one. But anyway... No, you know, it'd be funny if Taylor says another holiday on this stream. Okay, for Xfinity, I was stuck in the middle of that, Taylor. That doesn't count, not except if you try anything else. Anyway, for Xfinity, I took Austin Cindric as the driver to win. Now, this one was kind of difficult because I couldn't figure out who I was going to choose for the driver to stay away from. And I'm like, okay, I had to use my little best friend, the stats, to help me out in this situation. So I really didn't want to do this to Fitzley. I had to do it. I took Ryan Sieg as the driver to stay away from. Yes. Nürburgring's F1 and then Zolder's for DTM, so. My dark horse, I had to take Chase Briscoe because he's pretty much in a good spot to possibly advance. I stole Cody Smart's picks. I stole Cody Smart's picks, but the driver to stay away from. But wait till you hear who I had for the fourth driver to be eliminated in Xfinity. You already know I took Annette, Herbst, Brown. You know that. But I took a shocking pick that might upset a bunch of you guys. I took Ross Chastain as the fourth and final driver to be eliminated. Mm-hmm. I just don't think. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's gonna come back and get him in the big butt, you know what I mean? So. Alright. For Cup, I had to please Ormy ×2 because I had to do this pick in a good way. I took Chase Elliott as the driver to win. Not accepted, Taylor. Darp, I said not accepted if you do anything to me. Alright. I took Kyle Busch as the driver to stay away from because I looked up his stats, and ever since we've gone to the Roval, he has an average finish of like, But you and I would agree, ever since we gone to the road course, he's had 2 DNFs in his 2 starts, and I don't think he's gonna have a good time at the road course. The dark horse, I pleased Ormond again because I told him I had to figure out who I was gonna take, and he runs pretty well at the Charlotte Roval. I took Alex Bowman as the dark horse. And my 4 to be eliminated are Eric Almirola, Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon, and Kyle Busch. You just roasted yourself, Cookie. Good job, Stephen Colon. He just roasted himself. That's funny. He said, if I go back to what he said. I already know that I was a dumbass anyways, LOL. You just roasted yourself. Alright. I think that... Yeah, I think Ormy's a little shocked when he hears... Guess who helped Hendrick with the Daytona road course? And take a wild guess, Orman. No. Jordan Taylor from Corvette Racing. Yes? I'll shut my door then. Yeah. Hmm. Alright. Final thoughts, guys? I think, you know, coming out this weekend, you know, I think we're gonna see, you know, what could happen, you know, going into this eliminating in the forecast. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. What about you, Taylor?
Taylor's gonna be turning Taylor, except for mine. I accept him to be turning. Anyway. Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting what will happen at the Rolls. Especially if we do wind up racing in the rain, Roman lines in it. Most definitely, that would be very interesting. You know, given how the Rolls has been the past few times we've raced there, it's been very interesting. So, hey.
Yep. What about you, Orman?
This weekend is gonna be great. Solar mobile, and even though we're gonna have a rain, it's gonna make things more interesting.
Yep, it's really going to be interesting if you ask me. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming events brought to you by Red Carpet Charter, the official charter company of the PCSRA. The Overwatch League will start this weekend with live coverage beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 a.m. Pacific, as it is a double header of action as the grand finals are here, the Overwatch League. So, which we're really excited if you ask me. It is going to be fun watching San Francisco, if I can find it, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Shanghai, and Seoul duking it out to be who will be the champion of the world in 2020. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you ask me, and of course, like I said, our show will begin at 7 a.m. Eastern, which will be a lot of fun. You'll get to watch it on the Overwatch League's YouTube channel. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. It's going to be exciting. They'll be there this weekend. October 9th, it'll be 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific, and then October 10th, the championship day, 9 a.m. Eastern. You can watch it on the Overwatch League's YouTube channel. So that's a look at this week's upcoming events. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA weekly show events, there will not be a PCSRA weekly show next week, but there will be an IMSA podcast next week because we're going to preview Road Atlanta for the Petite Le Mans. That will be exciting so far. The weekly show will be back in 2 weeks when we recap the Charlotte Roll. We also got Kansas to recap and all that good stuff, and we'll preview the second race of the third round, which I believe is at Texas Motor Speedway, if I am correct. And plus, and also F1, you know, racing in 2 weeks' time as well. So that'll be exciting. So that's a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA weekly show events brought to you by Red Carpet Charter, the official charter company of the PCSRA. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud partner of the PCSRA, and we remind all of our friends that drinking and driving is illegal, and we will try to end DUI together. Visit enduyok.com for more details. Also, Justin Haley, for instance, if he wins Talladega next year, he will join Dale Earnhardt Jr. as a driver that has won 4 in a row at Talladega in the Xfinity Series. How about that? So, yep. That's something that's never been done before in a long time. Alright. I'll see you in a call in a minute, guys. I want to thank our great crew today: Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, David Heller, Cody Smart, Kyle Langland, Cody Goforth, and all of our amazing friends, our statistician Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Tang, Alex Hawkins, Dennis Stats Kelly, our spotter Greg Wood Black, engineer producer Michael Dean, Tom Shores and Greg Rutz, our sideline engineer Crystal Fontaine, our PCSRA expert, and Seth Summer running the show for us back in our PCSRA Learfield Sooner IMG College Network Studios. Final score, one final time on Saturday. Another difficult loss and a positive victory for my other favorite team It was Greg Rutz and Iowa State 37, OU 30. It was my Air Force Falcons 40, and Greg Rutz and Navy 7. Until 2 weeks from today for the PCSRA Weekly Show, this is Daniel Villasan. Air Force wins, and Boomers sooner, everybody.
PCSRA Weekly Show fans, thank you for joining us for today's episode of the PCSRA Weekly Show on the Blue Hedgehog TV. We hope to see you every Monday and Tuesday inside our PCSRA studios in War Acres, Oklahoma for more episodes of the PCSRA Weekly Show throughout the 2020 race season. This PCSRA Weekly Show broadcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecues, Harkins Theaters, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for listening to the PCSRA Weekly Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2020 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association, Incorporated.